This is your host, Quasar Spell, and welcome back to Let's Play Dark Souls. In the last episode, I believe I went all the way to the Darkroot Garden and defeated the Moonlight Butterfly, and now I stand here at Dragon Bridge to show you where to go next. So, this episode is actually going to be slightly different than pretty much most episodes I'm going to be doing throughout my YouTube career, if you call it a career, and more, I think of it more as a hobby right now. But this audio that I'm doing right now is actually going to be edited in post. You see, I may have oh man, I'm trying to think of how to say this. I'm not good at commentary, regardless. I have all the time in the world to think of whatever commentary I want, and yet I still can't think of anything to say. Perfect. So, I got a new recording program. If you can't tell, I'm now recording in a much higher resolution. Videos from this point on are going to be in a much higher quality. I'm actually going to be working on the next episode to be even better than this one. It's just, I believe I came up here to show you guys how to get back to the bonfire and how everything connects. I love how Dark Souls connects into each other. Point is, I got Fraps. It's a recording software that just is glorious. Problem is that when I made my first episode, I did not connect my microphone. And I know that does that automatically, but it's kind of like, I start up Fraps, took my headphones out, put my headphones back in. No. I started up Fraps, then put my headset in. It didn't recognize it, and I didn't know it until it was too late, and whoops. No audio on my part. So, my first episode ended up to be pretty bad, and this is actually a big reason why I always tell Let's Players that autosave for Let's Players is the work of the devil. Or not. Okay, that's a little extreme, but you guys get my point. I would have noticed otherwise if I could, but I couldn't go back. So I just had to move forward. So there's a list of things I want to talk about while we're here in the Undead Burg right now. So currently there's a bunch of torch-wielding guys, or I just killed a bunch of torch-wielding guys, and we got the Twin Humanities there. Otherwise, something that I forgot to get in a previous episode, I believe I told you guys to get it. I think I showed you where the shopkeep was, but I never personally went there.
How did this ever happen?
The man in there is actually the sorcery teacher, and I'm realizing at this point that I forgot to get the residence key. You get it from the shopkeeper. It's only 1,000 souls, and you get the sorcery teacher. Now, I think instead of going back and, getting the residence key, I may just leave him there to rot. Unless you guys want me to save him. But as I've said many times before, I'm not going to be delving into sorcery, and right now I'm just killing some guys before they slam open those doors, and now I'm just being like, no, don't hurt me. Oh, hey, there's an item in there. Maybe I should go for it. But, oh, nope, he was right there behind the door. Wait, did he actually throw that projectile through the door? Seriously? I wondered why that just seemed to have come out of nowhere. Get some pants and a mail breaker. Nice piercing weapon. Although it's actually fairly weak. But hey, here's the thing. I never actually talked about this before, and I think I should bring it up now. If you are a magic user, or you're a miracle user, I was going to say faith user, but it's miracle user, invest in a secondary weapon. It will help you out immensely in the later parts of the game, because I'm going to tell you this now. If you're following my Let's Play as a guide, and honestly, I'd be flattered if you did, because I'm not that good. Getting my butt kicked all over the place, but man, I love the Zweihander. Point is, if you're using magic, and I know I've actually had friends who say, I'm gonna be a pure mage, do nothing but cast massive spells, and some of those soul arrows are just awesome. And hey, they can be powerful, they level up with your stats, and get some more attunement, and you can cast like 90 of those things in no time at all. Point is, you're going to need to invest in a secondary weaponry because there's going to be a part in the game later on where magic does next to nothing to most enemies in the area. And while that is very far off, in fact, you can choose it to be one of the very, very last areas in the game you go to. I actually happen to go to that area last because the boss there is so powerful and the enemies there are so tough that I want best stats I can. And this part always weirded me out when I was making this recording because I'm bouncing off the wall, but no sound is coming off. I'm wondering if that's just some weird audio glitch or if he was parrying me or something. Now, I avoided the white light over there because I wanted to show you guys a little doorway over here, because this is going to be where the next area of the game is. Let's see. Large Soul of Lost Undead. I think I've already been over what those are. One of the things I've been neglecting of doing is going over what a lot of items do. I'll just explain this now. That door that we passed earlier, I'm not sure I stop and take a look at it, but that actually leads to the next part of the game. And to be honest, I don't even have to go there. Like, because I chose the starting gift as a master key, and hello there, pretty woman. I would love to partake in your moss, lady. And yes, that is surprisingly a woman. Then again, if that was a man, I'd still be surprised because, freaky. Point is, this is where you can get a lot of the moss, but since I showed you where the garden is already, you don't need to worry about that. And I'd take note of the transient curse, because you're going to need it. You're going to need transient curses, but you don't have to buy them. I'll show you guys later in the game how to easily get lots and lots of transient curses. You'll never run out. Unless you're really, really unlucky, in which case do buy some from her. Now, this area might look new, but it just connects right back to Firelink Shrine, which I think I take just a very small break at to show you guys how to... Oh man, what am I trying to say? Show you guys how everything connects, because I love that part of Dark Souls. I stated that already, and I think I was going to say something earlier, but never did. So, I don't believe I went over what a lot of items in the game are. So, let me talk about some of the items I've missed currently. The souls that I've been collecting are varying in sizes and what they actually are, such as a soul of a lost undead, soul of a proud knight, large soul of a lost undead. These things can be broken and turned into souls, and pretty much they're good to have on hand if you need like that last boost to get to the next level up. I tend to not use them until I really, really need them, or if I want to just get to the item, or just purchase an item like right then and there, because, well, if you just crack them all open ASAP, you might lose the souls. I've been very fortunate in this LP so far, because I have not died twice in a row. Now, I have died twice to the same monster in a row, but if I do not retrieve the souls that I got, then that's it, and I don't get a second chance. Now, what I'm going to do is, I think I'm actually going to cut here. I intended to cut here, so that I'll be right back at the white light. So, see you guys in a bit. You know, I actually just realized I haven't thought of. I don't think I explained why I haven't really. Why I said that I don't have to do this area at all because I have the master key. And other than experience, there is a couple reasons why I want to go here. Because a major reason, a major component that I am actually going through this place is not so much I want to show. I mean, it's not that I want to do it because honestly, these enemies are pretty easy at this point. I wanted to show you guys the routes you can take in this game rather than just, stopping. And I think at this point I was hearing the pitter patter of dogs up ahead, and I was just like, oh my. Yeah! Fire! So, the point that I'm trying to say is, I wanted to show you guys where to go in case you are using me as a guide, and also the souls, and there's some very nice items that I do not want to skip. In fact, beating this boss will allow me to upgrade my weapons, sort of. Because if I didn't go to the very next area in the game, I could not upgrade my weapon. Well, let's see. I believe at this point I'm going something along the lines of be very careful because the moment you step through this white light you are going to be ambushed. So make sure you start in with your shield raised. And let's see how this goes. That worked about as well as I thought it was gonna go. So I will. No, actually, I think I'm gonna keep going since this is, post commentary. Now, something else I wanted to mention because I brought the topic up myself is that I talked about a secondary weapon. And what I mean by that is, did I really just stand here for like a minute or so? Wow, I must have left the game on while I went to... Seriously, me? Thank you for moving again. What was I doing? I made this recording like 2 days ago. Yeah, and I'm finally just now realizing it. My editing schedule is screwed up. Point is, I made a point that secondary weapons are practically essential for any magic type users. But this doesn't mean that you have to invest in strength or dexterity, because elemental weapons, and there's technically only 2 elements, I'm kind of surprised about that. There's only fire and lightning. And there's also, divine, arcane, enchanted, magic. Well, magic, not arcane. Did my voice just seriously crack there? Arcane! Arcane! But yeah, there's plenty of those things. Occult, chaos, fire, things of that nature. But the 2 big ones are lightning and fire weapons. And in Dark Souls 1, this is changed in 2. They're not affected by your stats at all. So if you just want a very powerful weapon, but don't really have the stats to wield it, invest in a fire or lightning weapon. And while that's not really easily accessible in the early points of the game, I will be showing you where you can upgrade your weapons to to those levels. Although I've never actually met the fire. I've never met the fire smith. I've also never played the DLC of this game, and so I'm contemplating whether or not to do that. I don't think I will unless there's like a massive outcry, because all I've heard is that I don't even know how that hit either of them. And because I am not trying to show off here, but a lot of people have asked me to beat this game, and Well, aside from that, it's not really looking all that well for me. And the game did freeze there, but it came back at a lower frame rate for some reason. Okay. Yep. And death. So, that worked out wonderfully for me. So yeah, this game, it's kind of tough. That's why I don't think I should try out the DLC blind anyway, because I heard that the bosses there are even tougher. I, I'm almost tempted to because it looks like I'm making this game seem so much easier than it actually is. It's not. The controls are slow, and it's only because I played through this game twice before that I even know half the stuff that I'm doing throughout most of it. Ugh. But to finish off my earlier statement, if you're looking for a weapon to invest in, I heavily recommend going for a lightning enchanted weapon, because there are actually very, very few, if any, enemies in this game that are resistant to lightning. And lightning is extremely effective against dragons. And spoiler alert, I guess. I know this far in the video, but the enemy that I talked about in the area where magic is basically worthless, or not worthless, but no, practically worthless. Nearly every enemy in that area will take way more magic than it should to beat them. And the end boss there is a dragon, and lightning will do extra damage against them. So grab yourself a weapon that doesn't require too many stats, and just go right to town on them. Also, there are going to be like fiery areas. Like there's seriously an area in this game that basically just looks like a volcano. So lightning is the most preferable choice. Now, someone's probably gonna go out in the comment section and be like, "Oh, Q, what about this enemy? He's extremely resistant to lightning." Actually, I do know one enemy that's extremely resistant to lightning, but you actually, but that fight is kind of obnoxious. It's actually the hardest fight in the entire game, according to most people. Myself, I'm on the edge. I mean, I believe that dragon I talked about earlier in the arcane place is the toughest boss fight in the game. But, or, you know what, it's hard for me to determine, because it's honestly, what mood am I in that this boss is actually the most powerful? Because some bosses don't. I know for a fact there's like a boss later in this game that you can kill in one shot, but getting that one shot, he pushes you off cliffs and things like that. It's so broken and stupid, and you have to walk all the way back every single time. He's not even that tough. It's just one hit, but it's getting that one hit. Okay, Capra Demon, let's just finish this, and I tried a plunging attack. You know, I think I've been playing too much Monster Hunter 4 recently to go for something like that. And is he dead? No, not dead. Okay, now he's dead. Sweet, and we got the key to depths. Humanity and a homeward bone. So, yeah, with that, we got the key to the depths, which allows us to enter the next area, which is known as the depths, and I'll be certain to show you guys that area. I'm going to show you how to get to an area, and then I'm going to take another secret entrance to finish up. But, oh man, I'm running out of time here. I gotta finish up. This has been your host, Quasar Spell, signing out.